Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Oline and I'm a knitter from Norway, and I just got back from our trip to Sandnes. We went there to visit family, and of course as a knitter, when we go to visit Sandnes, I really want to make time to visit Sandnes Garn. Going to Sandnes is quite a long trip for us. It's about 12 hours one way in the car, so I really want to take every opportunity I get to go there. I think it's such a cool place to visit, both because you get to see like all of the yarn Sandnes Garn has, and it's a really pleasant store to be in. And of course my favorite part is the outlet they have. I think the store and the outlet is in the same building as their actual factory, so all the yarn that's produced wrong or in a wrong color, or it's just not 100%, gets sold for really cheap at their outlet. I think it's at least 50% off, so I really like to go there and get yarn, and of course I did that this time as well. So I wanted to do a yarn haul because I got a lot of yarn, so I thought that's what I'm going to do today. So, safe to say, I did get a lot of yarn from Sandnes Garn. I have bags and bags and bags from Sandnes Garn. But there is one thing with the outlet that makes it a bit harder to shop there, and that is that you never know what they're going to have. They don't there's no place there update what they have in that store, so you just have to go there and hope you find something you like. And of course I always find something I like, but that makes it really hard to plan it in advance. So I'm pretty sure I have some yarn where the quantities I have doesn't quite match what I really wanted to knit with it. Also, we had originally planned to go to Sandnes Garn as kind of like a family outing, because I really want to go there and I kind of need to focus to be able to get the right quantities. And my son also loves yarn, so he really wanted to go there. But the same day we were supposed to go to Sandnes, something came up, so just me and my son had to go there. And it was lovely because both of us loves yarn, so that was quite nice. But it is a lot harder to try to focus on getting the right yarn amounts when you're also at the same time running after almost 4-year-old that just wants all of the yarn. So I have one of the bags is just filled with yarn that he picked out, that he's really excited to make his own clothes in. I think the problem with that though is that he didn't pick out enough yarn in each color, so he has 4 to 6 yarns in each color, and I don't think that's enough for his size. So not everything's ideal, but I can knit with all of this yarn and I'm really excited for all of the yarn, and it's a way cheaper way of trying out Sandnes Garn before you actually splurge on what you get. But I think we've talked enough now and I'm going to start showing the yarn. And also, of course, because Sandnes Garn is so far away from us and where we live, and they sell their yarn so cheap, I did get a lot of yarn for others as well. So I think that's where we'll start, because I got the most for myself. But I have tried to it's been a couple of days now since I went there, so I've used the last couple of days to just go through everything, tried to sort each person's yarns into different bags and try to see how much yarn I got myself. But this is the bag for my mom. She has the smallest bag because she's the only one of us that doesn't go over the top when she sees an offer of yarn. So she got some fritidsgarn. I won't know the color for any of these, because even if they have this part here, it doesn't say the color name or color code. All of them are coded. I think 1000 or something, I don't know, and this It's 0001. All of them are that. So, and this one doesn't even have a name, but she got Sandnes Garn in 2 colors. I think her plan is to make mittens, and then she got 2 of each kind, and then she also got Peer Gynt, 2 in the poppy and 2 in the green and 2 in the really dark blue. I think this is the new petite knit Peer Gynt color. I don't know, but she got all of that. So she didn't get that much. But that is everything I got from my mom. And then I also called my aunt. That was also probably some of what made it a bit chaotic to get everything I wanted myself. Because first I wanted to like go around the whole room where they have an outlet to like see what they actually have. And already by then my son had started picking out so much yarn. And then I had to start calling everyone and see what they wanted so I could pick out that. And by the time I was done helping my aunt and my friend and my mom, my son's patience had run out, so we kind of just had to wrap it up. I just had to like get what I could with the time I had left. So hopefully the next time we go back it will be like slightly less chaotic, but it's not the end of the world. We go to Sandnes almost every single year, and I did get a lot of yarn for way cheaper than I would have if I had bought it in an actual store. And I know that I can make something with everything I got, just it could have been a tad bit less chaotic. But this is the bag for my aunt, so she did get a lot more than my mom. I think she had thought about some sort of yarn quantities, and it was also easier for them to pick out yarn, I think, because I sent them pictures of everything and then they could like sit and look through their patterns at home. So she got the Sandnes Garn the same as my mom got, and then there was next to the Sandnes Garn there was this kind of grey that it said that this was an like unknown yarn type, but that it was 100% wool and can be felted. So I'm pretty sure that this, if it's not Sandnes Garn, it's super similar. So she got 10 of each to make something. I don't quite know what. And then she also got these colors in the Sandnes Garn alpaca. As I said, I don't know the colors, but it's some kind of purple and then the light pink. And she got 12 of each of these. And that's what she got. So she got quite large quantities in the few yarn types she got. And then I got yarn from my friend as well. She bought yarn, I think, for projects for her soon-to-be 3 kids. So she got quite a lot of yarn as well. She was the first person I called, so I think this was the least chaotic one. But inside here is quite chaotic. But she got some Sunday. I think she got 4 or 5 skeins of this for her little baby that's soon to be born. And then she got this lovely green color in double Sunday. I was quite sure that she would want this because she does like green. This is some sort of dusty green. I think she got 10 of the double Sunday. Then she got some ice blue. I would say this is ice blue. This is Peer Gynt. There was a lot of Peer Gynt this time we visited, so a lot of what we got is Peer Gynt. I think she got 6 skeins of this, or 8 or something. And then she got 10 skeins each of these colors of Peer Gynt. So this is probably going to be for a set for her boys. And then this one for her girl that's soon to be born. But yeah, she got a lot of yarn, but in not that many different qualities or yarn types here as well. So that's all of the yarn for her. And of course I don't 100% know the plan my friends and family has, but I was happy to be able to help them get yarn since it is so much cheaper there. And then I started picking out yarn for myself and also tried to get a bit of an overview of what yarn my son had picked out while I was busy picking out yarn for others. It was quite hard because he just piled it on top of each other, so I got some surprises when I packed out when we got home. But the first yarn I picked out myself was this one. This is inside the bag. So this is 1 kilo of Sandnes Garn merino wool in a really lovely color. It's almost like royal blue or something. Again, I don't fully know the color names, but this was one of the first things I saw when I walked into the outlet, and I knew kind of from the start that I wanted one of these bags. They had quite a few, but I chose to do one, but I didn't want to pick it out before I had like taken a walk around the whole thing, because what if I found something even better? But I was kind of sold on this immediately. I'm really excited to work with this. For a lot of the yarn I don't have a clear plan, because I went in there without a plan and bought yarn without a plan. But I tried to, the yarn I picked out, I tried to get enough yarn that I can kind of make whatever. As I said, this is 1 kilo, so I can easily make something for myself, or I could make like multiple baby clothes or multiple kids clothes. I don't know. Something about this when I picked it out made me really think about the Marseille sweater, the same one that I'm wearing today. So I don't know, I haven't really looked at the numbers, but I know that I could get 1 Marseille sweater for myself out of this, and also I would need a contrasting color. But then I've also thought about this for my son, because I know I have some white merino, white of this merino wool from the time I made his Maru sweater, so that might be enough for a Marseille sweater in the next size for him. But I'm pretty sure that at least some of this will turn into a Marseille sweater in some size, and then I can imagine like Willum's overalls in this, or the teddy bear sweater by Petite Knit, or just some sort of thing like that. But I don't know. I imagine like 1 adult garment from this, and then I'll use the rest for baby items, or it will either be for me or my son, and then the rest will be for baby items. But I love this color and I'm really excited to knit with it. This was also, I got all of this for 500 Norwegian kroner, so what would that be, like $50? So that's quite cheap for 1 kilo of merino wool. And then, let's see, then I have 2 bags. I think I'll go through the bag with the yarn I've actually picked out myself first. And on the top, this is the bag with everything I picked out. So you can see this is quite big as well. I was able to just like collect yarn really quickly at the end there. And I also got 1 kilo of this yarn. As I said, this wasn't really specified what it was, but the one thing I knew going into the outlet was that I was on the lookout for fritidsgarn, and ideally a color I like. I didn't want to get fritidsgarn just to get fritidsgarn, and there was the 2 different fritidsgarn colors I showed, or this is the same as this, but there was the this one that there wasn't that much of. There wouldn't be enough for what I needed it for anyways, but this one there was quite a few of, and I quite like this color, but then I started second guessing, so I decided against it. And then I found this, and even though there's no guarantee for what this yarn is, it does look and feel really close to fritidsgarn, and it was kind of the thickness I was after anyways. It might be, I don't know, it might be a tiny bit thinner than the fritidsgarn, but let me try to show you kind of the difference. But it does seem like they are very, very, very similar. So I got this yarn because I'm doing a test knit. I'm going to test knit the Korsvika. Let me just double check that's right. Yeah, the Korsvika jacket, and I'm really happy I went with grey for that actually, because I do have a couple of cardigans now, and I have one that's grey that I knit back in 2021, and I use that all of the time. There's nothing special about that cardigan, and it's really well worn, and it has started to look kind of wonky, and that one's knit in air, and it doesn't hold its shape at all anymore, but it's still the one I grab for all of the time. So I think getting another one in grey will be really great, because I do grab for grays a lot. So I'm really excited both to test that, to see what this yarn actually turns into, and to get another grey cardigan. I just grabbed a kilo because I know that this is going to take a lot of yarn, and this will work. Like, I can make felted slippers in this. I am in the process of making a felted sitting mat that I can use the scraps for, so I just wanted to make sure that I got enough yarn and I wasn't really stressed about getting too much. So I got 1 kilo of this, and then I have to dig down here a bit to get the next yarn. This is a mix in between a yarn I chose and a yarn my son chose. He really wanted something red, and he went around the whole outlet and he picked out terrible shades of red. It was like a pinkish, horrible red that was like pink and orange mostly, and then he picked out something orange, and it wasn't something I wanted to knit with, and I don't really think he would have liked the finished thing. That was the first thing he saw, so I tried to direct him to this red that's actually a red color. This is Baby Ull Lanette, and he did not want this. He said, no, that's not red, this is orange. And I was like, no, you're holding something bright orange in your hands, claiming it to be red, and this is too orange for you. So he definitely did not choose this, but it was something red that he was after, so I chose this on behalf of him. I think I picked out 4 skeins, and I don't know what it will turn into. He just really wanted red. I think he will want it to turn into some sort of stuffed animal, and then I could make mittens or hat or socks or something from the leftovers, either for like a baby or him. I don't know. This is pretty much just thin merino wool, but I don't know if it is. Yeah, it is merino wool, so it's just thin superwashed merino wool. Got 4 skeins of this, and then I found this brown one. I think this is my favorite catch of that day. This is really close to both me and my husband's favorite shade that Sandnes Garn ever has had, and our favorite shade is the golden brown. I'll see if I have something in my stash actually in that color that is our favorite, because I should, then you can see the difference. So this is our favorite color. This is in Pelgrim, so it will be a bit different, but this is our favorite color. We love it. When I see it, I buy it every time because this has been discontinued. But then I saw this one, and as you can see, they're not quite the same. This is a bit redder, I would say. It has more red in it. But it's still lovely. It still has that like golden brown quality to it. So since this has discontinued and it's getting harder and harder to find something in that color, I decided to get this, and that was the last thing I did before we left. So I was just standing there like getting as much as I could, and I have gone through it since I got home, and I ended up getting 1.1 kilo, so 1100 grams of this, and I'm really happy with that because I could make whatever with this. I think merino wool is very versatile. I knit a lot with merino wool, both for gifts and for myself and for my son and for everyone, and this was in a color that we all really liked. I can see now that I'm home and I'm holding them up next to each other that the difference is bigger than I thought it would be, but not necessarily in a bad way. It's just different, but I still really like this, and I think this could be turned into so many cute things. Of course, no plan, but one thing I really think could be nice with this is to make the baby bear suit by Knitting for Olive. I think that in this color would be super nice, so I might do that. I don't really imagine something for myself in this color. I don't know why, but I just imagine more like kids and baby clothing in this. Maybe some accessories for me, but I don't imagine a full-on sweater for me in this really. But I got a lot of yarn in this color, and then the last thing in the bag with everything that I chose is this, and I'm not going to pull out all of the skeins for all of this, of course, because it's at the bottom, but I also got some of this purple alpaca. I thought it was such a nice color, and with the alpaca as well, it kind of like shimmers. I also know that different shades of purple is my husband's favorite color, so I knew that we'll be able to use this in some way. I don't have a clear plan for this as well, or I don't have a clear plan for this either, but I did get, I think, 600 grams, which should be enough for quite a few things. When I picked this out, I was imagining some sort of cardigan for me, I think. Would be nice, some sort, just a flowy one. I don't know if I even want it with buttons, but just oversized, plain, maybe a round joke, maybe raglans. I don't think I want it to be drop shoulder cardigan at all, just a really plain, simple cardigan, maybe the cardigan #1 or what it's called by my favorite things, knitwear, or I'll put in the picture on the right thing as to what I think of. I don't know if I'll have to combine this with something to make that, but I got this. I'm imagining a cardigan. It might turn into something else, but I think this color was just so amazing. It's kind of like plum, maybe. So that's what I got. And then I have this big as well, because my son also got a lot of yarn. This is his picks. He picked out a lot of Peer Gynt. He was obsessed with the Peer Gynt. I can see it's not super organized down here, but we'll see. I'll start with the one thing I actually think I can make something for him with, and that is that he got Peer Gynt in the color Poppy. I got Peer Gynt in the color Poppy last time I was there as well, a bit over a year ago, to make my Ingrid sweater, and I had really hoped I would have enough leftovers to make an Ingrid sweater for my son as well, but I did not have enough leftovers. But now we have more. I think there is 500 grams of this, so I will have to look at the Ingrid sweater pattern and see how big of a size I can make with 500 grams, and then I'll do that. I'm excited for that. We'll have matching sweaters, and he'll finally get his sweater. He's also in a really big red phase. He picked out yarn a couple of months ago to make his stormy weather hat, and ever since then he's been loving red. So that's why he wanted the red that's in my bag. He picked out this and a lot of this. So I think making him a red sweater will be really nice. But that's like the one yarn he has enough of to make something for himself. But he's imagining, he has told me like what he wants with all of this yarn. So I'm thinking super hard, trying to find ways to turn all of this yarn into clothes for him. But I don't know. Another yarn he got is this Peer Gynt in turquoise. I really like this color. I like big pops of color, especially for kids' clothes. So I'm really excited for this. I think it will also be a really fun yarn to actually work with. We have 300 grams of this, and I've looked into some different patterns I would really enjoy to knit using this yarn. For example, the Eva cardigan. I would love a Eva cardigan in this, but 300 grams is only enough for size 3 to 4 years, and that is like, he can just fit into that now, so I'm not going to knit that. But I have thought a little bit about knitting the cardigan using the outlet yarn, and then for all of the ribbing I could buy one skein extra, and that would, I think I would be able to make at least one size bigger then, if not two. So that might be a solution. If not, I think the Harold sweater, I might be able to squeeze out a sweater in this yarn and this yarn quantity in the right size doing that as well, but I'm not that into knitting that pattern. I would really love to knit the Eva cardigan using this, but I have to be a bit creative then, I think. If not, I could always do a striped sweater like the Holger sweater or something, but I already have yarn in my stash for, I think, size 5 to 6 in the Holger sweaters. I would have to make a really big size in the whole girl sweater to make this work, and I still don't necessarily think it will work. I also have thought a bit about doing the Celeste sweater because the color work means that you use a little bit less of the main color, but I don't know. I really hope I'll be able to turn this into a Eva. However, I do have more yarn in the same quantity. This is ice blue. This is a color I really like as well. Again, we have 300 grams. So the same problem, but I think with this yarn he wanted me to make pants, so that makes it a bit easier. I have found the chunky ribbed pants by Jord Clothing, and I'll be able to make those in size 5 to 6 years with less than 300 grams. So I think I might do that, but I don't know if I love Per Gynt for pants. I prefer superwash merino often for pants, just because pants get dirty the most, so we wash those a lot, and I would like to be able to do that in the washing machine. So I'm not quite sure, but this is really lovely, and since it's in such a light color as well, I would love to make baby knits from this. The issue with that though is that this is like yarn my son has picked out, and he's like, he loves all the yarn he's picked out and he's really excited for it, so I don't know if I can like steal that to make baby clothes. And that's true for some other of the yarn he got as well. Let me see if I can get that. He got he got 5 skeins of this. This is Petite Knit Sunday, and I don't know, some sign. It's a really light, like lilac purple something color. He got 5 of these. Loves these. I don't know what he wants with them, but we'll see. I'm imagining this will also be really great for baby knits. We'll just see how well he remembers everything once it moves into my stash. But I think they will be great for like a coming home set or something. I'm really imagining for these some sort of I like lace detailing, yarn overs. I think that will be great with this yarn. And this yarn was the one I talked about that he got so little of. We have 3 skeins of this Per Gynt, which is like nothing. I can make nothing for myself, so I'm using that, but I know that I can make the smallest size of the Ingrid Sweater Baby using that. I also don't love this color, so I would really like to be able to give it away. So that's why I don't feel that bad that we got a lot of like weird yarn quantities. The one problem with it is that it is all of the yarn my son loves that I'm not sure if I'll be able to use for him, but I know that I can make loads of gift with it, and I love gift knitting. It is what I do most of the time, so this I am 100% sure will end up as a gift knit, just because I don't really want it, and it's not enough for my son, so this is getting gifted, probably Ingrid Sweater Baby, because it's the perfect amount for that. There will be a lot of Ingrid sweaters coming up, I think. I will make both this and the one for my son, and probably more as well, so I'm excited for that. And then we got some, I think this is 2 different colors. Yes, we got some Double Sunday. This I'm also planning on turning into gift knits. I think you can see that they're 2 different colors. Don't know what, but they're both greenish. This is more grey green, and this is a bit more green. 4 skeins of each. Really lovely colors, and I'm thinking for this, I'm thinking like teddy bear sweater. I know that's also one of the problems, that I know like how much yarn all of the sizes uses up to like 1 year, because I do a lot of that for gift knitting, and then after 1 year I kind of stop gift knitting as much. We have a couple of friends that I still gift knit for once they are bigger, but I don't do that as much, so I don't know that on the top of my mind how much yarn like size 5 to 6 years takes, but I know that with 200 grams of each color that I can make the teddy bear sweater by Petite Knit in size, I think 1 to 2 years. I think that's what that size is called. And I could probably make the Monday sweater with the same amount of yarn, or I could make Willum's overalls in like probably 6 to 9 or 9 to 12. I think 6 to 9 maybe with this yarn. So I have lots of possibilities with this yarn, but that's also going to be for gifts. And then I have to just look through here. We also got this, and this, I think this is the last color in Per Gynt. Some sort of like peach color or something, really lovely color. And for this I'm thinking that this could probably be the base for a Celeste sweater. This is, I also have 300 grams of this. I have 300 grams of all of the Per Gynt except for this, so that does make it a bit harder, but I'm thinking Celeste, since this is a quite plain color, that this will be great for the base color of the Celeste. Other than that, I don't really know. It's also one of those light colors that would make for a really nice baby knit. This would be a great Selma's sleep suit, for example. I know that that also in the smallest size takes exactly 300 grams. And I think this yarn haul and buying this yarn also has taught me that I need to learn how much yarn the bigger sizes needs as well, and not just the small sizes. That would have made this less chaotic. And hopefully the next time we visit I'll have more time and I'll go in with a bit more of a plan. But I think this could turn into a Celeste sweater or baby knits. I don't know which yet. And then we also have the same color but in Tynn Per Gynt, because my son really enjoyed this color. And I think with this we have 250 grams, so 200 skeins. And with this Tynn Per Gynt, I think that might be enough for something for my son if I pair it with mohair. So I think my plan for this is to pair it with mohair and make him a sweater or cardigan or something. But I haven't really planned for that yet, but I do think that this is one of the yarns I can actually make something with without stressing too much and playing too much yarn chicken if I just pair this with mohair. Of course I'll have to figure out what kind of mohair to do. I do have a lot of white mohair already in my stash, so it's tempting to just pair it with that, but that would be a really like scary pairing, because then this would be so light, so I would be afraid of it getting spills on it all of the time. I don't love super light yarn colors for kids. I think it's cute for babies, and then once they age like past 1.5, I want dark colors that hide spills. So I might pair it with a darker mohair as well, or at least a mohair that is like the same color. But then again, I don't know if a mohair sweater or cardigan will be like everyday wear anyways, so we might as well do it with white, and then it will just be for special occasions. But I don't know what kind of special occasions we would use a white cardigan for. So I don't know. It would also be a really cute baby thing, also with the white mohair, but since my son loved this yarn and this color so much, I really want to be able to make at least one thing for him in this color. It does look a bit different on camera, but it is the same color. I think it's just because this is thicker that it looks different. But yeah, I really hope I'll be able to make something. If you have any like great patterns that use 300 grams of about DK weight for size 5 and up, I would love to hear it, because I am coming up quite dry. I would like all striped sweaters, colorwork sweaters that work with like these colors, and then like these are the colors I'm really struggling to figure out what to do with. I could probably pair them. They work quite well together, I think, but I just don't know. And I'll probably have some leftovers of this as well. but I already have some leftovers, so this could turn into a million different things. But that, I think, is all of the yarn I got. I have written down all of the yarn to see if I could find some sort of plan. I'm just going to look over this to see if I have some good plan. Another thing is that this is also one of the favorite yarns from what my son picked out. My husband also enjoyed these the most, so I really want to figure out a way to make these stay here instead of giving these away. I think out of everything that this might be my favorite. That's why I'm really trying to figure out how to use this. But I know I'll be able to use everything. I just hope I'll be able to use as much as possible of it to knit for my son, since he's so excited for it. He's already been doing his own yarn hauls for everyone we've been seeing since we got this yarn. We got back to the Airbnb we stayed at, and he had a yarn for haul for his father and for all of the relatives where we were in Sandnes, and then when we visited my grandma in Kristiansand, he had yarn hauls everywhere, so he's really excited for it, so I really hope I'll be able to do it. His idea for everything is that it can turn into a tiger, especially this is like tiger yarn, so I don't know. Stuffed animals will work with kind of anything. But what I was planning to say before I went on that tangent is that I've gone through all of the yarn, added it together here, and I ended up with 6.5 kgs of yarn, which is a lot. I didn't really think it was that much when I was grabbing it. I thought it would be like 3 kilos maybe, but it is 6.5. So I did... I have been trying to decrease my yarn stash, but now my yarn stash has grown by almost the same amount that I've been knitting out of it in 2025, so we'll see. But hopefully from now on my yarn stash will be mostly decreasing. I have a couple of planned projects that I didn't get yarn for that I need to be knitting in 2025, but I'm done with all of the yarn without a plan. Buys, I'm not going to buy anything more without a plan until the next time we're in Sandnes probably, which I don't know when that will be. But that is my yarn haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to hear all tips about what I can do with this yarn. I would love to hear how you deal with yarn without a plan, if you buy yarn without a plan or do you only buy yarn with a plan. I really enjoy to hear about how like other people treat yarn and knitting and in what order they do things, if they buy yarn first and then plan, or if they plan and then buy yarn. But that was the yarn haul. Now I need to find place for it all in my yarn stash. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. That means the absolute world to me. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. Bye!